Hallo und herzlich. Ja, ist egal. Nein, ist voll egal. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Selbstbewusstsein-Podcast, der Lieblingspodcast für deinen beruflichen und privaten Erfolg. Und die heutige Folge, einfach nur, dass du jetzt schon Bescheid weißt, die ist in Englisch. Das heißt, wenn du des Englischen nicht so hundertprozentig mächtig bist und das Gefühl hast, boah, das wird dich jetzt nur anstrengen und du willst kein Wort verstehen, dann hab einfach Geduld, warte bis zur nächsten Folge. Ich werde bestimmt nach und nach die Learnings, weil die Folge ist wirklich sehr, sehr inhaltsreich, im Laufe der nächsten Wochen immer mal wieder verdauen, auch in anderen deutschsprachigen Folgen. Aber heute ist die Folge in Englisch, besser in amerikanisch, weil ich den Joe DiBianca interviewe. Joe DiBianca ist Coach, Mindset-Trainer und noch einiges darüber hinaus. Und vielleicht jetzt nicht unbedingt der 0815 Mindset-Trainer von Instagram um die Ecke, sondern erstmal hat er mich das letzte Jahr ziemlich intensiv begleitet und von ihm habe ich ganz viel gelernt, gerade wenn es um diese emotionale, dieses Durchfühlen, dieses Loslassen von Traumata aus der Vergangenheit geht, habe ich ganz, ganz viel von ihm mitgenommen. Er hat ganz viel bei mir losgetreten und das ist auch schwerpunktmäßig das Thema, über das wir heute sprechen. Joe hat eine sehr, sehr bewegte Vergangenheit mit Missbrauch und Vergewaltigung als Kind erlebt über viele Jahre, über ganz, ganz tiefe Wurzeln in der Kriminalität, war auch im Gefängnis, hatte viel mit Drogen zu tun und war auch dann professioneller Bodybuilder, hat schon mehrere Firmen aufgebaut. Also wirklich ganz viel Erfahrungswert, was mit da reinkommt und deswegen, wenn du des Englischen mächtig bist, viel Spaß bei der Folge, es ist wirklich Gold wert. Und lass mich wissen, was du dir mitnimmst.
So many people have gotten, they forget about their wellness. They forget about their well-being. They think entrepreneurship is all about the money and the mindset, which it's about the mindset and the way of life, but it's also about taking care of your health. It's also about keeping yourself in top physical performance, top physical shape, so you can run a business, so you can show up for yourself, so you can be the best that you can be.
Yeah, I heard you saying quite a lot of time in those past videos. Most people don't do good because they don't feel good.
Right. They don't do well because they don't feel well. Exactly. But they leave it out. They don't realize how important nutrition is to a daily lifestyle, to having energy, to having positive, positivity in your life. They miss that whole part.
My wife is just dancing in the background because she loves the message. She's like,
yes,
yeah, he's right. Bring it on.
Absolutely. And they skip over this whole part. They skip over the whole part of being healthy and being well and fueling their bodies with the proper nutrition. It's part of owning a business. It really is.
What would you say, like percentage-wise, when you are thinking about building a business? You have mindset, you have your health, you have skills, and all those different things. How would you, if you had to build it up by percentage, how much do you think is mindset? How much do you think is health in order to be successful of sorts?
I mean, I feel like well, mindset, health and wellness. And practicing the skills, the habits, the daily repetition and experience, because I'm working with so many young people and they just expect it like this. They want success like this, but it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah.
You must pay the price every single day. And the price has to be paid up front. The price must be paid up front every day. And that's what a lot of these young people are missing.
Where do you think this expectation of being successful in 3 months, which I feel that pressure too. Like when yesterday or the day before, I had the realization while just reflecting and thinking about my own business and stuff, where I thought, Toby, you started your business as a coach 2 years ago. Most of the time you were influenced by people who maybe didn't have your best interest in mind. And so for me to do my own, to really be me, and also to be really authentic in what I'm doing, it's maybe half a year, maybe 4 months even. So, and for me to expect that I have to be a millionaire by now, and otherwise I have failed. Where do you think this kind of mindset comes from?
Entitlement.
Entitlement.
That's what I'm experiencing with my younger coaching clients. They feel very entitled because so much has been handed to them.
So it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be fast. It's supposed to be no pain, no nothing.
Right. Coupled with everything that they see, everything that they think they see online of all these empty promises and these systems and these magic pills that are going to make your business grow. And this, like this lead generation and the DMs, like I was doing this 12 years ago. Like these young kids, they think they just discovered America. I built 2 network marketing companies off of DMs 12 years ago.
You found the system. You found the one thing that works.
Yes, that long ago. And now if you look at it, everybody's doing it. Sure. And it's become so saturated that people are tired of it. What do you do when I get prospected every day and I just delete. I see their age. They're in their early 20s. They just got out of their fucking diapers and they think they own the world.
Yeah.
They have no experience. They're babies. Yeah. They're babies, Toby.
Yeah. And I'm not sure about how you feel about it, but I feel the more, like for myself, because I'm also using DMs and I also do outreaches and I call people, the more I am just who I am to say what I can do, but also what I can't do, to not act like I am the next guru, the next whatever. The more people come to me without me even pushing too hard. So do you think humility or honesty, or what's the cure, so to speak, for every 21-year-old who wants to build his own business? What's the ingredient for them?
What I run across is they think that they have to have it all figured out right now. They feel like they have to make a choice, that they have to make a career decision that's going to be for the rest of their lives. And what I tell them is, no, you don't have to make a decision now. You could do this, and then you could do this, and this, and you can have multiple income streams. You don't have to have it figured out. So even if you did this for 5 years, and in 5 more years, you said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. That's okay. But they think that they put so much pressure on themselves thinking that they have to have it figured out now. And I didn't get it figured out until in my 40s. And I'm still reinventing myself. I'm still reinventing myself over and over and over again. So it's okay to change. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change direction. It's okay to have multiple streams of income.
Yeah, I love that. And now for everybody that hears your message and still feels so pressured, how to deal with this pressure, how to deal with these expectations or with this entitlement, what would you say, how to deal with that?
I feel like a lot of it, Toby, are these subconscious programmings that are running in the background that so many people are not aware of. The subconscious programming from our parents, from our teachers, from coaches, from the limiting beliefs that we have, because we've all been traumatized as kids. Every one of us have been traumatized, whether it be emotionally, physically, or sexually. I happen to get really lucky and all 3 happened to me. So, all these programmings, these feelings of that many of them have, like you had and like I had, feelings of I'm not good enough, I'm less than, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. These feelings, these subconscious programmings that are running in their background, they have yet to see them, right? If you don't know what programming is running in the background, you can't possibly change.
Yeah. And also sometimes I feel I can't make anybody see their programming if they don't want to. So it's easy to think like, just wake up, just start to see this fucking shit. I feel it doesn't. So how does it work if really somebody just starts out and there's a lot of pushback because the DMs are shit and they're trying to be something or someone they're not, but they want for it to go better and to be more authentic and everything, but they don't see the programmings. Like I probably very often don't see my own programmings, but I'm on the way. So how to start being more aware and more conscious and to start seeing what's really going on inside of me.
I mean, it comes with conscious awareness. It comes with having somebody like myself being able to point out these programs, because if you're stuck, but you don't know why you're stuck, but yet you keep on doing the same thing over and over again, getting the same results, and you keep on doing that, well, you're actually addicted to that programming. You're actually addicted to that cycle of programming, whatever that is. Yet a lot of people don't see it. They think if they just push forward and grind and push and hustle. Yes, all these words that really have negative connotations to them. Who wants to grind? There's nothing glorified about grinding, about hustling. Entrepreneurship is not like that. It's supposed to be enjoyable. We're supposed to enjoy the process. It's about cultivating that conscious awareness, being rigorously honest with yourself, rigorously honest with yourself. Your biggest violators, Toby, as my biggest violators were, your parents, my parents, your parents, and everybody else's parents. You can step into that truth because you and I have shared many moments of vulnerability on both ends, many moments. Yet these people, they don't know that their parents, a lot of them are their violators, but because they're your mother and your father, it can't be that. It can't be them, but more oftentimes than not, it is. People come from addicted homes, broken homes, homes where their parents are alcoholics, compulsive shoppers, spenders, codependency, violence. There's a whole multitude of situations that creates these limiting beliefs.
Yeah. And like you experienced some horrible shit, but even if the things that we experienced weren't rape and all those like very obvious traumas through an eye of a child, even a small, seemingly small situation where you go to your parents with a beautifully drawn picture and they just dismiss it. They just say like, well, yeah, nice, which is a small situation from now looking back, but through the eye of a child, this could be a huge trauma. So I feel to like in our process, when we work together, looking into my past, it was a big step to admit that even though I downplay it all the time, because my childhood wasn't that bad. It was safe. It was good, to admit that I was traumatized as well. So, yeah.
Something as simple as what you said, Toby, like as simple as a drawing or as simple as, and I went through this many times. You bring home a grade, that's a B, and your parent says, well, what happened to the A? And wait a minute. So you don't get congratulated for the B, you get torn down. And what happened to the A that you didn't get? So you're not good enough. You feel less than, you feel not deserving. Many of us have lived with a parent or parents that we could never please. For me, that was my mother. I could never please my mother no matter what I did. I mean, Jesus Christ could have held my hand and walked beside me, and that wouldn't have pleased my mother. I mean, that's a fact, and you said about trauma, and it's not only the rapes and the car accidents and the deaths and the physical brutality. Yes, that's trauma, but as children, like you said, as children, when our basic human needs are not met, and those basic human needs are really simple: to be loved unconditionally, to be seen, to be heard, and to be validated.
Mm-hmm.
So something as simple as the drawing that you said, that's traumatizing to a kid.
Yeah.
So when these basic human needs are not met, the child is traumatized. Now, I was traumatized. Much trauma happens in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I was traumatized in my mother's belly. And you might ask, how did that happen? It's pretty simple, because my mom did not want me.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't want me. So when I was inside her, there was a lot of resentment. There was a lot of anger going on. There was a lot of disappointment going on in her head. I call it a cardio cocktail. It's a cardio cocktail. So if she's experiencing all these stress hormones in her brain,
yeah.
I was experiencing the same thing in the womb. So there was a complete disconnect from my mother even before I came out into the world. That's how deep trauma goes. It could happen in the womb as well as it happened to me in the womb. So basically, I was screwed before I came out. But I'm able to recognize that now and see how early it started in my life.
Are they even people who aren't traumatized? Would you say there are some people around the globe that aren't traumatized as children, or they weren't?
I would have to say the percentage is very low, because we all have something in our past that's holding us back. Yeah. We all have some subconscious programming in our brains that are holding us back. It's a matter of uncovering that. It's a matter of uncovering that and learning how to change that. Because as children, people don't realize as children, we see things completely different. Mm-hmm. And all children are narcissists, and not narcissists in a bad sense. In other words, if you remember back, Toby, I can remember, and you could probably, you can remember too, when I explain it to you, your parents have a fight, they have a disagreement. I used to feel like it was my fault. Mm-hmm. So as children, we see things in a completely different way. We see things that everything has to do with us. If something happens, it's our fault. Yeah. If our parents fight, if our friends fight, we somehow perceive it as our fault. This is the way a child's brain works. So as a person goes into adulthood, right, what they're doing really is they're dragging their past into their present, and it's messing up their future, except they don't realize it, because they're looking as an adult, they're still looking through the same lenses as they did when they were children, except they don't realize it.
Exactly.
This has happened to you when we coach together. This has happened to me.
Yeah, and for me at least, it still is to some, not only to some degree. I think there's so much to uncover and to heal and to grow, which I'm excited about now. There are a couple of things that you taught me also when you were coaching me, that really, the concept of being addicted to who I was till now was a huge concept for me. The thing that I was addicted, that I am addicted to the feelings, the traumas, the self-limiting beliefs, and all the things, that it's like an addiction, and you can't just say stop thinking that. It's a little bit deeper than that. And also the process of personal development being a healing process of healing those traumas, of doing the work in order to be able to heal. And you taught me how to implement, well, how to let go is always kind of a fun question to ask, but this, using the letting go technique, so to speak, to heal. And I get this question a lot now, and sometimes I ask myself this question: how do you let go? How do you work through these traumas? How do you deal with those emotions? And maybe if you want, do you want to share with us your routine that you use to work through your negative feelings and emotions, or how do you let go?
Mm. So everybody wants to know, how do I let go? How do I let go? And
Now.
interesting, how do I? Give me the magic pill. That's not the question. Ask yourself why you don't let go.
Mm-hmm.
That is the real question. Because what you're holding on to, you're actually receiving a pleasure from holding on to it. There's a quirky little pleasure that we get from holding on. So we're basically, what we're letting go of is the guilt and the shame and the anger and the resentment of certain situations. So, letting go, and people, when I first talk to people, they tell me, oh, I read Letting Go, and they think that's going to impress me. Oh, okay, you read it. Okay, right, congratulations. Exactly. Read it about a dozen more times, and then learn how to apply it in your life, because it is a practice. It's a practice. It's a daily practice, one day at a time. It's being able to interrupt. It's being consciously aware of your own behaviors. It's like you're able to be a drone, and you can lift outside of your body and look down, and you're able to see, well, and this happens in a fraction of a second. It happens very fast. You're able to see a behavior that you don't like, and say, nope, immediately see it and say, nope. Take a big deep breath, say, that's the old me, and I'm going to go over here and create a new behavior. That's the new me. Right? The challenge is that people are so addicted to that old behavior that it actually has become comfortable for them to be in it. But it's really uncomfortable, except they've been in it for so long that they think it's comfortable. And then when they look over there to the other side of liberation, and they look over there and they say, whoa, well, over there, that looks pretty scary. That looks pretty uncomfortable over there. And then they go back to what is familiar, because the ego will crave what is familiar. It always will take you back to what is familiar. So it's about being able to make that choice daily. Now, this happens to me daily, Toby. Like what I share with people is, sometimes you may let go of some things and they may be gone forever. That's possible. Most of the time, these feelings will pop up. They will pop up in different areas that you don't expect, right? That you don't expect. It's about having the conscious awareness to be able to spot those areas and be able to really apply the letting go technique daily, because it doesn't take that long to learn. It takes practice. It takes a few months. And we've all done it, Toby. Here's the thing. We've all done it. We've all let go, and most people don't know that they have. And I'll give you a simple situation. It's like you and I are friends, and we are friends. And you and I we've never had, but let's say you and I had a disagreement. And we realized that the disagreement we had was really like, I thought one thing and you thought another, and we didn't communicate it. But yet, as soon as we do, we laugh and say, there was really nothing there, right? That's letting go. And everybody experiences that. Everybody experiences that. So if you can take that feeling of what that felt like, it's a release, right? You and I, if we had a disagreement and we realized, Toby, I was thinking of something different. And you say, Joe, me too. I was thinking of something different too. And it goes away. But that's letting go. So that same feeling that happened in that moment, letting go feels the same everywhere else. It's not any different than what I just described to you.
Yeah.
And everybody has experienced that.
I think most people, myself included, we were looking for this huge, like this technique of letting go. It's such a, it's a technique, and it's so mysterious, and we have to, it's so, and not realizing that it's so simple, and it's so easy. We just have to do it. And this is what annoyed me so much in our coaching. We did it about 6, 7, 8 months together. I never got an answer out of you as to how it really works. Tell me the 5 steps, Joe. Do I have to breathe first, sit down, and then you never did, but somehow you did. Or it like for me, I started using it more often, and I started having those moments of relief, and I see, oh, this is how it works for me, and this is how I could apply it. And still sometimes I have those emotions and those patterns, and I know and then I take them with me for like days at a time sometimes, and I don't want to let them go. And sometimes my wife then, which you told me that I have to listen to her more often, and I do. Toby, just let it go. Just take your time off and just go. And I said, okay. And then maybe in a matter of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, the pressure and the pain and weeks sometimes just gone.
Yes, really great point, Toby. It's a really great point, because even for someone who's been doing it for as long as I have, sometimes through the day it's very quick, and then sometimes, like last week or 2 weeks ago, I was sitting with something very personal, very heavy, that what I did was I sat here and I read Healing and Recovery, the chapter on catastrophic events. So I reread it over and over again, and I kept going through the steps. See, even me, I went back to it and kept reading it over and over again, and kept applying it daily. See, so it's that commitment to the process that I have to it, and the belief in it that it really works, because I've done it before. It's just, as human beings, right? We become this huge storage tank of emotions, this reservoir of emotions, a lifetime of these emotions that we suppress and repress throughout our lives, we push down. So there's a lot of energy in our bodies, right? So when these feelings come up, it's not about beating yourself up. It's about learning to take that deep breath, because it's like that deep breath is like a pressure relief valve. It's like you turn the valve, and you take that release, that breath, and it releases those feelings, right? Because we become the mind-body connection to the past events that have shaped our feelings. We become the mind-body connection to the past events that have shaped our feelings. And that's what I talk about, dragging your past into your present, affecting your future. So if you really allow yourself to celebrate your humanness, like, no one is perfect. I have challenging days, I have challenging weeks, but nobody is perfect. It's about being able to be humble. Humility is a big part of it. Being humble, because humility starts to break down the walls of the ego. Humility is very powerful. So it's about being humble and learning to laugh at yourself.
I think humility is not a very modern thing to practice.
It is not, but moving to Charleston here has taught me a great deal of humility.
How so?
Because I don't know anyone here. I have Alicia, that's it. I have no connections here. And in Philadelphia, basically everything is at my fingertips, where I came from. That's where all my circle of influence is. If I want a restaurant position, if I want, all I got to do is pick up the phone. I'd have a job before I had jobs waiting before I even got home, Toby. You know, not having that here has been very humbling. Nobody knows who I am. Nobody knows who I am here. In Philadelphia, everybody knows me.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who I am. Here,
and nobody.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you.
When my wife and I first moved to the Philippines, this feeling, the first maybe 6-7 months was quite similar. We didn't speak the language. We didn't know the culture. The people couldn't speak English or German for that matter. So we lived there and we were so, in Germany, we would be somebody, like we were somebody. And there it was just like, we couldn't buy our own food. We had to carry water from a well to our house. So there was no running water. There was no internet. It was really quite simple. And for us, it was like, we don't know anything. And for us, it was so stressful to not know who we are in that context. Very, very, very humbling. And I feel in a business context, when we can go back to those young entrepreneurs, a little bit more of that, to know that I don't know anything, that I don't have all the answers, that I'm not the savior of the world, I think would do us quite good.
Absolutely, Toby. And, you know, because of all the noise that is out there on the internet, you know, this system, that system, this magic system, what the young people are missing is, if you're not, what I tell everybody is, stop everything. Stop buying this product, stop buying that product, and get this right up here first. Once you get this right and understand what negative programmings are running in the background, once you get this right first, then you could start to invest in other areas. But invest in changing the programming first, because when you do that, then everything becomes so much clearer for you. And it's like, if you don't do that, it's like you're chasing the invisible man. You hire this guy and this mentor and this mentor and this, you know the way it goes. You and I both did that. We both did that. You know, and for what? For a lot of empty promises. Because wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think are people looking for when they invest in so many different programs and looking for so many systems? And what do they think comes at the end of the rainbow?
They're hoping to get all their dreams, everything that they wanted. You know, the big business. Well, what do we see today, Toby? Scale, 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 scale. It's everywhere. Everybody wants to teach you how to scale. Like, there's so much noise out there, man. There's so much noise. You know, people on the internet, they're renting cars. They're renting the Rolls Royces. They're renting the Ferraris. They're taking pictures in front of the cars. They're renting the Rolexes. Like, for a lot of them, they're all broke, but they're portraying something completely different. And it sucks.
Makes it hard to, since we work together, I changed a couple of things in my business. And the one thing that I changed is I don't want to portray something that I'm not. I don't want to pretend that I'm helping people in areas that I can't help them. And I changed a couple of things in my marketing. I changed how I talked about topics, it was a process, but I changed a lot of things. And the one thing that I get feedback for now, when I do some programs, when I talk, is we have the feeling that you are authentic, that you are real, and that's why I want to talk with you. And I feel there's such a hunger, and again, there's way to go, but I feel there's such a hunger for people who are honest and vulnerable and don't have to portray like they are the next Jesus Christ of this generation.
Right. No, you're absolutely right, Toby. People are starving for that truth, for that authenticity, for that honesty, man. You know, just like you said, absolutely. Which you can help with and which you can't help with.
Yeah. How did, well, for you in your past years, a lot of stuff changed as well, or you went through a lot of, like, how do you say, well, you mentioned before, like, it's very dynamic. You are changing and reinventing yourself as well. How was this journey for you to be more Joe in the last years? You had a lot of stories that you shared with me already, but you had a lot of moments where you became more you, or where you became more authentic, and yeah, also portraying you as you are, if this makes any sense. Like, how did it work for you?
Once I realized that vulnerability was my greatest strength.
Mm-hmm.
Being vulnerable with people, showing them my heart, truly connecting with them at a very deep level was a turning point. Because you know me, I'm an open book. I hide nothing. You ask me a question, I'm going to answer it honestly. I'll tell you all about my life, my past, my criminal past, because I was raised in an environment of criminality. Mm-hmm. Criminality was normal in my life. It was normal. So I had to break that programming as a kid. I share that with people. I share that with everybody. I'm not embarrassed of my past. I share I was a drug addict for a very long time. You know, I share this with people. That's what they want to hear. If I'm assisting people with emotional addictions, well, it's the emotional addictions that lead to the chemical addictions. So I've had both. I've been a drug addict for a really long time. Are you going to trust somebody to treat your emotional addictions who's never had any type of addictions in your life? Or are you going to go to a recovering drug addict like myself who knows so much about addictions and who's been down that path?
Yeah.
You know, it's that authenticity that people are looking for, that honesty, that realness. Hey, this guy's been through the shit. You know, I rebranded myself the Back Pocket OG. Right? The OG being the original gangster. Well, I used to be a gangster. I was a bodyguard for a high-level mafia figure at 17 years old.
And I guess in the beginning, it must have cost you quite a bit of courage to open up and to share and to be honest, and also be honest with your flaws and your flaws. So how did you jump over this barrier of, well, can I really share who I am? Or also for the young entrepreneurs, can I really tell them that I don't know anything about what I'm here supposed to be selling or something? Like, how to overcome this fear of being vulnerable?
One, I would say you don't do it all at once. You do it one day at a time. One day at a time. Share something one day at a time. Doesn't have to be deep, but something you would normally share. Yeah. I share my sexual violations. I was sexually violated as a kid. I share I was a drug addict. I share I was grown up in a life of criminality. I share all the stories from my past because that makes you relatable to people. That is what makes you relatable to people. Yeah. Not how much money you're making, not how big your business is, but truly connecting with people from the heart. When you learn that connection is from the heart, not from the wallet, but from the heart. That's where it comes from. Yeah. One day at a time, and trusting, because people, they don't care about you being perfect. They want to see you with your hair messed up. They want to see you with the tears running down your face. That's what they want to see. They want to see that rawness in you, because that allows them into your life. Hey, this guy's just like me. He's been through it. He's been through more than me. There's somebody that can advise you.
That's beautiful. Yeah, there's one female speaker that I admire. She's American too, And many of them I don't like, I don't appreciate, because they are big and they are great and they are the best and they have businesses and they write books and everything. But this one author, she seems to be so vulnerable, so open, and she just shared that for the past 2 years, what happened to her business and how it affected her emotional state, and she's making videos from it, and it's so believable and so vulnerable that for me, I feel I could probably give her thousands of dollars to coach me or to mentor me. And at the same time, I could sit with her, drink coffee, and just share with my life as well. So she is approachable. And this is more what I want to see for myself, for the business community, or for people I hang out with. So I must say, Joe, I'm so tired of this, of lying and pretending and oh, it's just so stressful. It's just so,
It is.
whoa. No, I'm so tired of it. I still do it sometimes, I guess, but step by step.
That's honesty, Toby. I appreciate that. Rigorous honesty. That's what this process is about.
Yeah.
It's about rigorous honesty with yourself and with others.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for supporting me and many other people in this process. Maybe one question towards your, well, let me think for a moment. We talked a little bit about the emotions, about letting go, about how to heal from past traumas. And there's another side of you that I quite like as well. Like when you do videos, you're quite straightforward. So you're not the everything's easy, just manifest your dreams and sit there and smile and but you're also just pull your head out of your ass and keep on and just do it and work out and then eat healthy and then do these things. How for yourself, how does it fit together? And what are maybe some basic truth in working out and eating healthy that are important to follow if I want to have a healthy, a good, a fulfilled life? It's a big question,
great.
but well.
That's a great question. So, I mean, I've been leading a healthy lifestyle for the last 33 years. I've been lifting weights for 33 years, eating right for 33 years. It's become a way of life for me. But for the person just starting out, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, successful in business, successful in life, you must. This is the vessel. This is the vessel that carries the soul. This is the vessel that carries the soul. You can either nourish it and take care of it, or you can abuse it and suffer the consequences. So, I mean, I'm 53 years young. I have boundless energy. I'm on fire all the time. Basic stuff. I would say definitely lift heavy weights. Lift weights. If you don't like it, do something physical that you do enjoy. Do something physical that you enjoy. You must keep the body moving. You must keep the body moving. Because if you can build this, then you can build any business. Because building a physique, building a great body, a healthy body, takes time. It takes commitment, and it takes one day at a time. Because if you just start working out today and you look in the mirror, you're not going to see anything. Next week, same thing. Next week, same thing. But it's the compounded effect of all the work that you do over the months that's going to show up. So I would tell people to keep it really basic, really basic. Eat the cleanest foods you possibly can. Eat the cleanest foods that you can afford, whatever it is that you can afford. I happen to eat grass-fed, grass-finished beef, hormone-free, antibiotic-free, grain-free, free-roaming chickens, all the best quality foods, organic greens, organic vegetables. This is how I live my life on a daily basis. Very clean eating. Now, it might, and I will tell you right now, Toby, so people know, is that I don't restrict myself. I don't restrict myself. I will eat a cookie. I will eat ice cream. I don't restrict myself, but my nutrition is so on point that when I do have the cookies or dessert, when I go out to eat at a restaurant, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me because my nutrition is so on point. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter. So it's not about restrictions. It's about making good choices for your body, but also being consciously aware, right? Being consciously aware of how food makes you feel. Mm-hmm. How does it make me feel? For instance, if I wake up in the morning and my energy's off or I have some fog, I'm going to ask myself, what did I eat last night? What did I eat yesterday? What's causing this? Because the food that you're putting in your body is causing the brain fog, is causing something going wrong in your body. So I'm consciously aware enough. Like if I go back to Philadelphia, we're known for cheesesteaks in Philadelphia. I love cheesesteaks, right? I don't get one every time, but before I do, I ask myself, am I willing to pay the price of eating that 2 hours later? Because I'm going to feel like weighed down. The next day, I'm not going to feel so good. So I know what I know what foods make me feel a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I ask myself, am I willing to pay the price of eating that? Yeah, totally. So really, it's really getting in tune with your body, right? It's really getting in tune with your body and understanding what makes it perform the best. Because I'm a retired professional bodybuilder. Mm-hmm. So from that mindset, food was to give me the big muscles and, to give me the great physique. I don't care about that anymore. What I care about is the food that's going to fuel this, that's going to fuel my brain, the mitochondria in my brain. I eat to be an entrepreneur. That's how I eat. That's why I work out now. That's why I eat the food I do, because it has me performing at my best. So when you coach with me, you're not only getting the emotional and the self-sabotaging, you're getting someone who's had a lifetime of experience in fitness and nutrition as well.
I think it's not fun for no reason that when people are in depression or they're feeling very burned out and all those kind of new illnesses to some degree, that the first thing that they should do is get out of your house, start moving your body, work out, eat healthy, don't buy pizza every night because it affects your brain and even your brain chemistry and everything.
It does.
Yeah. And it's so funny again, because actually I believe almost everybody of us, we know that stuff. We know what is healthy, what is not healthy. We know that we should move. We know that green food and salad probably is a little bit more healthy than pizza and pasta and everything. Mm-hmm. But we are so addicted to, again, what you said before, to running down the same patterns and the same self-sabotaging behavior and everything, because we are so addicted to the way we feel and look. And so what else emotionally is for you is triggered or is linked with food that it's so hard to change, apparently?
Well, it's all by design, Toby. I don't know how the grocery stores are there, but if you walk into a grocery store here in America, the very first thing that you see is the shit, the sugar, the cakes, the colorful boxes of cereal with all the sugar and the corn syrup. In a regular grocery store, the greens and the healthy stuff are way back there. Yeah. Because the government does not want us healthy. The government wants us sick. The government wants us part of big pharma, of the drugs, of the blue pill and the red pill. The government's not promoting health. If the government is telling you not to eat something, you better believe you should eat it. Yeah. If the government is telling me I shouldn't have something, you better believe I want it.
Yeah. Because people who are healthy and and conscious and who know who they are, and they are so hard to manipulate. So they're so hard Yeah,
Yes.
it's hard for people to follow other people when they are really standing on their own, really
Self-contained.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a good topic. Joe, if somebody is after this podcast episode is really interested in not just you as a person, but also maybe to work with you or maybe to learn more about you, where can they find you, and what can you maybe offer them also to get in touch with you?
I'm on all social media platforms, Toby, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. They can find me on my website, joedibianca.com. I also offer 30-minute discovery calls where I will shine a light very bright into the dark corners of their life that they cannot see and show them where all their negative programming is, not all of it, some of it, in a 30-minute discovery call, and really give them some insight on how to begin the process of change. So something simple as a direct message to schedule a call.
Yeah, links will be in the description. Joe, maybe I will give you the chance to have like a last word or a wisdom bomb at the end. But maybe let me close with one story, one thing that you taught me that is quite dear to me now in dealing with negative emotions and dealing with stuff that comes up that feels disgusting, that I want to repress or that I want to suppress and that I want to run away from. And I always have this story in the back of my head that you told me. You once shared with me, Toby. When I was to book a flight now to your place, and I will come out the airplane, I will get a taxi, I will go to your place. You wouldn't know about it, and I would just ring your doorbell, and I would stand in front of your door. You would open me. How would you react? And I'd say like, Joe, yeah, come in, sit down. Let's have something to eat. Let's have something to drink. Just spend some time together. And you said, Toby, this is the way you should deal with all the emotions, especially the ones that you would label bad. And since that time, this is a very dear picture to me. There's some fear, there's some anger, there's some pain, there's some grief or whatever. To open the door, to spend time with it, and allowing it to be there, and also allowing it to go if it wants to. So thank you for helping me in the past months and years, well, almost years. And well, to close the podcast, do you have something that is open for you that you want to share or that you want to clarify or something before we wrap it up?
I would say get all your houses in order. Your health and nutrition, your mindset, your relationships, and not only romantic, but invest in relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. Invest in these areas every single day. Your relationships, your health and wellness, your business. Invest in these areas every single day, little bit each day, and you can't help but progress in your life.
Amen. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Joe.
I love you, Toby. You're a great guy,
you
and I'm glad we're friends.
Thanks. So, back in German. Schön, dass du noch da bist. Und wie gesagt, schreib dir 2, 3 Sachen raus, die du mitgenommen hast, die für dich neu oder besonders waren, die du anwenden möchtest. Wenn du Fragen hast, schreib mich gerne auf Instagram an zum Beispiel. Da bin ich sehr gut erreichbar. Oder nimm direkt Kontakt mit Joe auf, wenn du den Eindruck hast, dass Joe dir vielleicht persönlich weiterhelfen kann. In diesem Sinne, viel Spaß bei der Anwendung. Wir sehen uns in der nächsten Folge.